This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this?
This is a sham.
No.
Y'all, just stop.
Get real.
Welcome to DBL. No, you are not to adjust your screen. Chef Schroeder is back on the show.
Yes.
You are not to adjust your screen.
I said it like Lincoln because I made a mistake. All right, welcome to DBL. Hello, we're very excited you guys are watching with us. We are starting today with a story out of Texas you might have heard about. This is the woman that we're talking about. She is named Kate Cox, and she asked the state for an emergency abortion, even though it's against the state's near total abortion ban. So her fetus had a fatal diagnosis, which her doctor said could lead to serious health risks for her as well as future fertility issues. Well, the Texas Supreme Court ruled against her yesterday, saying, quote, "Some difficulties in pregnancy, even serious ones, do not pose the heightened risks to the mother needed to qualify for a medical exception to the state's abortion ban." They also said her doctor failed to prove that her condition poses the risks that the exception requires for the mother to be in trouble. Yesterday, Kate's lawyer said she has now decided to travel out of state to get the procedure. And here to talk to us about this case from a medical perspective, we've got our very own Dr. Coley. Thank you so much for being here, Doc. Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Coley, let's talk about this because it's about this fatal diagnosis for Kate's fetus. So what is it and what kind of risk does it pose to this mom's health?
So her fetus has essentially an accident that happened at conception. It's called trisomy 18. So normally we have 2 copies of chromosome number 18. This fetus actually has 3 copies. And almost universally, in more than 90% of the cases, this means it's either going to be a miscarriage or a stillbirth because there's too many defects in the organs that are formed. Now, 5 to 10% of babies will be born alive, but even then, a few of them will only live to their first birthday. And then if they do live past that, they're going to have sort of serious intellectual disabilities. So it's a pretty significant diagnosis. It happens by accident. It's not related to mom's age or anything like that. It happens more commonly in girl fetuses as opposed to boy fetuses. But it's an unfortunate circumstance here. So if we think about the risk to mom, carrying a baby with trisomy 18 doesn't pose any additional risk to mom. But I don't know what this particular woman's medical history is. And if her doctors are saying that there's risk to her, not just for this pregnancy, but even for potential future pregnancies, we absolutely have to take that seriously.
Yeah, I just don't understand it because they said that they have to prove it. Yeah. I'm like, the doctors have to prove it to the judges?
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
It's getting the
those
judges.
Are 2 different schools that you go to.
Yes, I think so.
I don't know. I'm not a doctor or a judge. The Texas Supreme Court also said that doctors can decide if a woman meets the medical necessity exception to get an abortion in the state. So how comfortable would you be able to make that decision?
I am the person to make that decision. In fact, as you said, when you go to medical school, they train you to see what it is that is, best for your patient and best for the patient inside the patient, which is the fetus. And so for a judge or a lawyer, the Attorney General of the Texas Supreme Court to say that her doctors didn't prove it, they shouldn't have to prove it. And this, guys, is a really slippery slope because you're taking away autonomy from us as medical professionals. And in fact, the Texas Attorney General is threatening the doctors and saying that they're going to have civil and criminal penalties. I mean, that would scare the heck out of me. I certainly wouldn't do anything if somebody told me that from a legal standpoint, especially an attorney told me that. So I think this type of behavior is bullying.
Yes.
And what they're doing is just taking over the doctor's.
And also, let's not forget about the personal attacks that would be happening too. If a doctor was gone after for giving a procedure like this, the bombardment of people contacting their office, threatening them personally would increase 100-fold as well. So,
that doctor's room that you're getting that talk with, your medical doctor, is getting crowded with the judicial system now in it, with the legal system now in it. It used to be just a woman and her doctor.
Those people do not belong in my exam room.
There, am I right?
It should be me and my patient. Yeah. And I mean, this is, to me, it's preposterous that we've even gotten here. And I think the entire medical system needs to revolt against this kind of a hearing.
I want to ask, because we always talk about the physical detriment to a patient, but we never talk about the psychological detriment. So you have a woman who knows that she's carrying a potentially non-viable fetus, potentially stillborn. So what happens to someone, because in a lot of these cases, it seems as though, in my non-medical experience, that you're asking a woman to be a mausoleum in some of these cases, that she's acting as a walking tomb.
It's exactly right. I mean, you're telling her she has to carry that fetus until it dies inside of her, and then you'll evacuate it. And again, it's not just the psychological toll of carrying a baby that then passes, that you then have to, have an abortion for, but it's also the mental toll of not knowing what's going to happen. She's gone to the emergency room multiple times for leaking fluid, for having cramps. So it's not clear whether there's a miscarriage coming or not, but it's not fair to put her body, her mind through this kind of torture.
And then make her travel to another state to get it done. Think about all of that.
But what do you guys think? I mean, I'm honestly aghast as a medical professional, and it makes me saddened, and it makes me shocked that this type of a precedent has been set.
I just can't believe that all of us up here have the same opinion, and the smartest minds in our land can't say, this is crazy. I understand the laws, but this woman might die. Her newborn has a 95% chance of dying. Let this woman have this procedure done. Like, these are the smartest minds we have out there.
They're not the smartest, they're just in charge.
I use this in quotes. I use it in quotes. But you have to stick to your guns because of some party or something that somebody made up. And I always go back to guns. We didn't know we were going to have automatic rifles when we were making these laws, in the Constitution about gun control. So it's like, this is an extreme. Can't we all agree that it's an extreme and let this woman have the procedure done? I understand we're talking about it because it's so extreme.
Right.
But they should have enough sense to let this through.
Well, let me tell you one thing. It's on the ballot coming up. This election to me is not, I always say, not Trump nor Biden. It is the Roe v. Wade election. And if you're out there and you want to change the minds and you're a moderate or a suburban mom and you don't want this in your medical office, there's a vote to happen. That can change.
And to your point, Tori, that's why I'm surprised that they push back so hard on this, because they know that abortion, the right knows that abortion is a losing issue at the ballot box for them. So I would think that they would want to pass, make an exemption like this to show people we're not going to be unreasonable.
Right.
But the fact that this is I think that's the most animated I've ever seen Dr. Coley on our panel, honestly, because I'm sure you can't believe you're having this conversation right now. And the fact that we are sitting here in 2023 and people that are married to people that may carry another child, may possibly want to carry another child, we're all looking at this like, not only can we not believe this is reality, but I think a lot of people, this is their current reality. If you were a young woman, 14 to 49.
You know what's happening now too, and I want to ask you that when they ask you your menstrual period, girls 14 and up are not doing it. They're not giving it because they're worried that people are going to be tracking and it becomes a whole handmaid's tale. So it's become a real issue for 14-year-olds and plus. They're told, don't tell the doctor when your menstrual period is in certain states, which is insane.
I mean, I had always told my patients, you guys will have an out. I have your back. If I say something is wrong, don't worry, we'll still be able to get you that abortion. And now, after this, I'm not sure I can say that in good conscience because I've got an attorney general threatening me with civil, legal, and criminal penalties and fines and taking my livelihood and my license away. So he's really tied my hands as a physician, and I can't believe that this is happening.
Wow. Sorry you have to deal with this.
Yeah, we're very sorry about that. DBL Nation, be sure to follow Dr. Coley on social media at PyleColeyMD. Also, subscribe to her YouTube page for the latest science news and headlines. Thank you so much, Dr. Coley. We'll be right back. Changing gears. Hi there. Welcome back to DBL. So the holiday season is known for all the joy and magic, but let's be real. It can also be full of anxiety and very real burnout. For some of us, the American Psychological Association is out with a new survey that found that 89% experience stress during the holidays. 77% of people accept unwanted holiday invites just to avoid the ramifications of missing it. Wow. 43% said the stress of the holidays interferes with their ability to actually enjoy them. And 36% said the holidays feel like a competition. So what do you think of this? Do you suffer from holiday burnout? Do any of you accept uninvited or unwanted holiday invites,
I don't go anywhere I don't want to, but just in general, I had this conversation with my therapist last week.
Tell us, can we ask about it?
Yes, I was feeling a lot of anxiety and guilt about not decorating for the holidays. And there's like a million reasons why it didn't happen this year, and they're all valid reasons. But I still really love to decorate for the holidays, and it makes me feel like a little, not depressed, but there's like a spirit when your house is decorated.
Right.
So then I was feeling guilty because I'm like, what if my husband feels the same way? And this is my responsibility to do this. And it was just
the guilt.
Yeah.
The guilt.
And it was really, and I'm like, I can't believe that out of everything I'm talking about with my therapist, that I'm talking about
Christmas lights,
decorating.
But it shows
for the
it's important to you.
It is important.
We talked about this.
Yes.
Full disclosure.
So I understand that people might be in situations where maybe this year isn't going to be the year. So it's kind of like navigating those feelings too.
That's very true. The guilt about it. What about you, Mr. Decorated all over the place?
I like
this is your thing.
I really like it.
Do you have any burnout?
No, I don't. And again, like Erica said, I'm 45 now. I go to about 85% of the places I want to. Otherwise, I can't make it because it makes me happy. But going back to Christmas instead of being a Grinch, I just like the holiday spirit. I've been traveling. I was at the airports. Someone drops a glove. Hey, you dropped this. Hey, happy holidays. You know what I mean? I just like telling people during this time of year you could be extra nice without being a weirdo.
Yeah.
So you just extend that and be like, hey, man, happy holidays. And someone like, oh, hey, thanks, buddy. You too. And you don't even know each other. I said that to 10 strangers just yesterday traveling, and it just puts a smile on people's face. So I say everybody try to enjoy this time of year, because once January comes, you're going to get like me and want to start punching people again.
You know what's funny? I don't have any invites I don't have a lot.
There's still time.
I haven't seen or received any.
We have a holiday party coming up. You're invited
I am
to
excited.
that.
I'm going to do some karaoke, so everyone get their karaoke songs ready. But I think if you do have holiday burnout, I think it's a step to sort of be, I don't know if the word selfish is, but a little more self-aware of, this is going to burn me out to do this. This won't rest, relax a little bit. That's okay.
I think I will say this. The only, not the only, but I think some of the people that do actually suffer from holiday burnout, Jeff, you're a guy that you want to cook. You want to put the,
right.
Anthony would do whatever you ask him. Hey, can you hang that? But I think there's some people in certain families where it's just like Big Mama's going to do all the cooking. She'll do all the dishes. The kind of younger nieces and nephews with younger kids, they're going to want to go party tonight. So Big Mama will watch them. And I think people are not cognizant of the fact that maybe all of these things are falling on one or two people.
Yeah.
So I think if you are burned out, there might be a good reason for that. Maybe you need to learn to delegate to some of those younger folks. If they got energy to go out to the club, hey, come back and bust some
do the
suds.
dishes,
That's right.
And maybe invite me somewhere. Coming up on DBL, we're talking with Rita Wilson all about singing the title song for My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3.
As Congress debated whether to send an additional $60 billion in aid to Ukraine, some social media posts, including this one with more than 250,000 views, accused Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky of using past aid money to buy luxury yachts. Verify viewers Charles and Barbara emailed us to ask if this actually happened. So, let's verify. Our sources are the Mediterranean Yacht Brokers Association and yacht brokerage companies Benmar and Burgess. The two yachts named in the posts are the Lucky Me and My Legacy. Both brokerage companies say they were not purchased by Zelensky. In fact, they weren't sold at all and are still on the market. A spokesperson for Benmar told Verify the viral claim is totally wrong and false. So, where did the misinformation come from? It appears to stem from this YouTube video that claims to have sales agreements showing Zelensky used proxies to buy the yachts.
Ask your trusted friend to buy a couple of luxury yachts and their names.
However, we took a look at the paperwork being offered as proof in the clip and found it's based on an online template from the Mediterranean Yacht Brokers Association that hasn't been used in more than a decade. So, no, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky did not buy 2 yachts with U.S. aid money. The yachts are still for sale. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back to DBL. Not only is Rita Wilson a producer on all 3 of my Big Fat Greek Wedding movies, but she's also singing the title song for the last film. Earlier, we spoke with her all about it. Check it out. Very nice to see you. I wanted to ask you, Rita, you wrote Oli Mazi, We Are All Together specifically for this movie, and I wanted to know specifically for you, what did this song mean to you, and why did you choose this specific phrase?
Oli Mazi means all together in Greek, and the film is really about bringing family together, meeting new family, acceptance of our families as we enter into the holiday season, and we might be engaging with family members that are different than us. And so it was really about, at the end of the day, we are all together, and family for me is very important, as you probably know. And so the song was inspired by that.
I love it.
Rita, you've produced all 3 movies, and talking just now of your family, which of your own family traditions did you include in the films?
I had a Big Fat Greek Wedding myself, so we did have the Poinsettias, the little candies that they're making in the movie. We obviously, a lot of family members there. I remember having arguments with my mother because she would want to invite people to the wedding, and I was like, but I don't know those people. I've never met them, like the classic conversation. But it's important to your parents that they are able to celebrate a good, happy occasion.
Your Now and Forever Duets album has so many legendary artists. Which recording was the most emotional for you?
Oh my gosh. It's really hard to say because I was recording with so many people that I have loved and admired for so many years. Smokey Robinson, Jackson Brown, Willie Nelson. The list goes on, and then people that I admire from today. So I would say that everything was emotional. When they're written, you experience them one way, and then if they're reinterpreted, you experience them another way. So, for example, in something like Slip Sliding Away with Paul Simon that he wrote, that I did with Willie Nelson, for me it was very poignant to have Willie Nelson singing along, the nearer your destination, the more you're slip sliding away, when Willie's 90 years old. I don't think there's anybody that's nearer, that is probably going to live forever other than Willie Nelson.
Now it's almost the new year. Oh, how do you plan to celebrate? And what are your big plans for 2024? What are your resolutions?
Well, I don't ever make resolutions because I think resolutions come every day of your life. You know, we're constantly deciding what it is that we want to do and how we want to live our lives. And I think it's good to sort of start off the new year with a refreshed approach to what you want to do, and we all know what the classics are. I'm going to lose 10 pounds. Yeah. I'm going to exercise more
every day.
Okay, those are a given. Fine, but I like to look at my year as always saying, okay, how can I spend more time with my family? As my creative life being satisfied? Am I doing what I want to be doing and creatively and saying what I want to be saying? So I do look at those things, but those are ongoing. They're not necessarily New Year's resolutions.
Beautiful. DBL Nation, you can hear Olima Z.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3 now streaming on Peacock. And you can also stream Rita Wilson now and Forever Duets wherever you get your music. Thank you again. Happy holidays. We'll be right back. Congratulations.
More homes in the U.S. have solar panels on their roofs now. In fact, data from the U.S. Energy Information Administration shows residential power installation rose by 34% in 2020. So one WCNC viewer wanted to know, if a resident had a fire emergency at home, would solar panels keep the fire department from gaining access to the fire? Let's verify.
Our sources are the NC Department of Insurance, the U.S. Energy Information Administration, and the Huntersville Fire Department. To bring a house fire under control, firefighters will often poke holes in the roof to vent the smoke. This improves visibility inside the home and improves the odds of survival for anyone trapped inside. The North Carolina Department of Insurance says firefighters do face additional hazards from solar panels on roofs. Some of these hazards include the potential of electrical shock from the solar panel system, a greater risk of the roof collapsing during the fire conditions because of the added weight, fire risk from battery storage systems, and the potential for slips and falls while working on a roof with solar panels. Because of this, a fire scene incident commander has to be cautious about letting firefighters on the roof to fight the house fire with solar panels. When responding to a fire, firefighters are trained to disconnect the power from the home. The Huntersville Fire Department says they take into account all of these variables when fighting a fire. And while solar panels can present a challenge and some additional difficulty, they say it's not something they can't navigate. The Department of Energy says you should let your local firefighters know that your home has solar panels installed so they are aware in case there's an emergency. So we can verify that no, if your home has solar panels, it would not keep the fire department from gaining access to the fire, but it could make fighting a fire a little more difficult. With your Verify, I'm Megan Brown.
Poinsettias are one of the most popular holiday plants. Their colorful leaves can range from a creamy white to a bright red. For years, people have claimed that the plant is lethal to cats and dogs. Recent online search trends show people are wondering about that claim as they start decorating for the holidays. So let's verify. Are poinsettias deadly to pets? Our sources are the ASPCA, the American Kennel Club, and the Pet Poison Helpline. Snap open a leaf of the plant and its milky white sap will ooze out. The chemicals in the sap are similar to those found in detergents. If cats and dogs consume them, they may experience gastrointestinal irritation, such as nausea, vomiting, drooling, or sometimes diarrhea. Contact with the sap can also cause skin irritation, including redness, swelling, and itchiness. But all three of our sources agree that chemicals found in the plant's sap are only mildly toxic to pets, not fatal. The Pet Poison Helpline website says claims about pet poisoning from the plant sap are greatly exaggerated. So we can verify, no, poinsettias are not deadly to pets. But consuming the sap and the plant's leaves in general is still not good for them. So to be safe, the American Kennel Club recommends keeping poinsettias out of your pet's reach during the holiday season. The ASPCA says holly and mistletoe, which can cause gastrointestinal irritation as well as cardiovascular problems when ingested, should also be kept out of your pet's reach. With your Verify, I'm Ariande Till.
Welcome back. We've got some really great products from our friends at Morning Save. Check them out. Steph, what do you have for us today?
Hey Tori, hey DBL Nation. We are super excited to show you the deals today, and believe me, they are great. Check it out. This has got my name all over it, Tori. It's the Personic electric towel warmer with a timer.
Oh, bougie! Yes.
This deal includes one towel warmer that will give you a spa-like experience right at home. Morning Save tested several towel warmers, and they chose this hot item because they know you're going to love it. But quantities are limited, so make sure you hurry up and order yours.
I can't wait for this.
Normally this is $200. We've got it for $89.99. That's saving 55%. Next up is the 2-pack Bliss Lights Bliss Glow 16 feet Bluetooth LED strip lights.
Ooh.
This doorbuster deal includes 2 light strips that are 16 feet each. And these are doorbuster deals. They're so popular, there's a limit of 3 per customer and quantities are extremely limited.
Oh my.
So order yours before they're gone.
Okay.
Normally these are $50 each.
Oh, that's a lot.
We've got a 2-pack for $10. That's saving 90%. Next up, we've got the 2.5 carat TW cubic zirconia necklace with matching earrings.
I like this.
This deal includes 1 necklace and 1 pair of earrings in a gift box. So normally it's $60.
Okay, but
we've got it for just $14.99. That's saving 75%. And then last up but not least today, we've got the iHome Power Light Pro Desk Lamp with a charging station.
Ooh.
This deal includes 1 lamp. Normally this is $80. We've got it for $29.99. It's saving 63%.
Head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices, or you can even scan the QR code right on screen to take you directly to these products on Morning Save's website. Steph, thank you so much. We love sharing your comments. So Allison wrote, I have burnout. The holidays aren't as fun as I get older. This is about holiday burnout.
Right,
clearly.
yeah, and it's more on you.
Yeah, the responsibility is more on you. And Katie says, I live for this time of year. I love baking cookies, holiday movies, and hosting parties. That's awesome, but if you're Allison and not Katie, go do your Allison thing. You know what I mean? You don't need to do the Katie thing.
All right, I feel like you're talking to somebody else.
I'm just saying, Allison, you be you.
Okay.
And invite me, okay? We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Someone.